Good morning. It is Thursday. What is it? The 26th or something? Don't know. Totally lost track. Okay, I have to tell you how much my cup was filled up, you guys, when you started texting your little videos yesterday of your review of those Netflix shows. I know I'm a people person. I know my favorite thing about my job is interacting with you guys, and I have missed it. I feel like part of me is missing. And just to see your faces, I could totally feel my cup get filled up more and more and more and more and more. And I was like, this is so great. I am really enjoying seeing these kids. So thank you for that. Today, if I'm going to go through my grade book, and I'm going to put in a grade for your quarantine food, and then a grade for your little give me five review. And anybody I don't have one or both grades for, I'm calling. So I think I'll start with your parents. I think you guys have had a chance that you could have reached out to me, and if you haven't chosen to do that, I'm going to give your mom and dad a call, and we'll have a little chit chat about how we're going to handle this so that we can help you get your stuff done. Because this is not optional. This stuff is graded. You need to do this. So we will go from there. Your assignment for tomorrow is just kind of fun. Whatever you decide to have for breakfast, whatever it is, I want you to plate it and send me a picture. I'm going to tell you, I'll be honest, this texting works great for me if you just zap me a picture. I would like a little one-liner for you to tell me what it is. So maybe you made waffles and you made homemade caramel sauce to go on them. And brag about that. I want to know that you did something a little extra and it just didn't come from a jar. But whatever you have, it does not have to be fancy. I would like it to be something that you have made a little bit. Like, I'm going to show you my oatmeal here in a second. I don't want you to toast a Pop-Tart and go, this is my breakfast. I want you to, even if you do something with toast, or whatever. Just let's be a little creative here, but don't go crazy, and do not have to buy anything. You be creative with what you have in your cupboards and at your kitchen at home to do this. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to flip the camera around so you can see my breakfast. So I have oatmeal. I ordinarily, as you know, just have a piece of toast with peanut butter and honey. But, oops, I should turn it this way, shouldn't I? My daughters told me I should be flipping this the other way. So oatmeal, and I did cinnamon, pecans, brown sugar, some banana, and then that is not milk on the around the edges. It is heavy whipping cream because, well, it's delicious, and I'm going to go for a walk later. So there you go. Okay, now what I want to tell you guys is a little history lesson. So if you follow me on Instagram, sorry, I have to get my computer back up here and going. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I said we were going to do this today. So these are my grandmother's plates. Aren't they great? You guys know I like old lady plates, and it's kind of my jam. So a few years ago, Bill and I took a trip to the Grand Cayman Islands, and we were walking around the shops in the Caymans and just poking in and out of, anything and everything, touristy stuff. And we went inside this antique store because I like antiques. I know I'm old. But I even liked them when I was your age. So I see this plate sitting up, and I said to Bill, those are my grandmother's plates. That's her pattern. I have those. And this English woman comes over, and she, they just have great accents, and it always makes it sound way more sophisticated. She comes over and she says, oh, I see you're looking at the, what's it called, the willow pattern. And I said, yeah. I said, these are my grandmother's plates. And she said, well, do you know the story? And I said, no. So first of all, she tells me how this cobalt has been popular since, oh gosh, like the Tang Dynasty. We're talking 618 to 907, a long, long time ago, right? And they started putting this cobalt color on cobalt or on plates during the Tang Dynasty, and they've used this blue to tell stories and legends and such. So here is this legend, and I'm going to point out a few things before I tell you about it. So you'll want to notice the Chinese temple and the bridge here with the men on it, the willow tree, the boat, the doves. So I think all those come into the story. So you look at the pattern and I will read you the legend. Once there was a wealthy mandarin who had a beautiful daughter. She had fallen in love with the father's humble accounting assistant, angering her father. It was inappropriate for them to marry due to the difference in their social class. He dismissed the man and built a high fence around his house. There's the fence. I forgot to point the fence out. I gotta find my place. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Built a high fence around his house to keep the lovers apart. The mandarin was planning for his daughter to marry a powerful duke. The duke arrived by boat to claim his bride, bearing a box with jewels. The wedding was to take place on the day the blossom fell from the willow tree. On the eve of the daughter's wedding to the duke, the young accountant, disguised as a servant, slipped into the palace unnoticed. As the lovers escaped with the jewels, the alarm was raised. They ran over a bridge, chased by the mandarin, whip in hand. They eventually escaped on the duke's ship to the safety of a secluded island. There's the island up there. Where they lived happily for years. But one day, the duke learned of their refuge. Hungry for revenge, he sent his soldiers, who captured the lovers and put them to death. The gods, moved by their plight, transformed the lovers into a pair of doves. Okay, my apologies that was not, hello, sister. There we go. I'm back. I stumbled because I was trying to look here and look at my screen to read you the story, but isn't that a great story? And I just love it. And I think, for years and years I would eat at my grandma's house and I'd be like, what is the story with these plates? So, you have time now, you're home, talk to your mom and dad and ask them some things about when they were young, and if you happen to be FaceTiming your grandparents, have some of those discussions with them, because I was in my 40s before I figured this out, and I just think it's fascinating. And now these plates are mine. Out of the 20-some grandkids, I'm the one that ended up with these plates, and I'm thrilled by that. So they really mean a lot to me. So, okay. So far you've had 3 assignments as a recap. Quarantine, watching the videos on Netflix. I heard from many of you, you were like, these were actually interesting. Well, duh. Of course I picked fun stuff for you. So if you watched the Grant Aches one, I encourage you to take time to watch the Christina Tosi one, just for fun. You don't have to turn any work with it. If you watch the Christina Tosi one, oh my gosh, watch the Grant one. I just love it. That molecular gastronomy that he does at his restaurant, I'm dying to go, you guys. I'm really dying to go. So you probably have time. You're hanging out at home today. I would say flip that on if you get a chance. And if you don't have Netflix, I think you can find little clips of it online so you can get an idea of Alinea and Milk, which Christina Tosi is a part of. So definitely do that. So quarantine, you watch the Netflix video. Tomorrow you're going to do a little plating. And I'm kind of thinking maybe if I can get someplace in town to let me in, just me, and we stay a safe distance apart, maybe we could do a virtual field trip. I'm going to call my friend Marcelo at Carnival. I don't know if that's possible to get in there, or my friend Mr. Reisman from Cold Stone. I'm going to do some digging, and maybe they'll say, no, this really isn't safe and we don't feel comfortable doing it, and that's fine, but I'm trying to cook up some interesting stuff for you guys. So hang in there. I have several teenagers, and they tell me that it's going okay, that they're figuring it out, and we as teachers appreciate you guys putting forth the effort and showing us grace. You're amazing. And for all of you that reach out and say, Ms. Revere, how's your mom? I tell you, you guys, that just that is so sweet of you. So thank you for that. She's doing great, by the way. She slept really well last night for the first time. And she just had a little port put in. It's not a big thing what she had done, but she's old and she's scared. And anytime you have anything done, it's kind of nerve-wracking. So April 1st, I'm going to go back down and be with her when she has her treatment, but I'll still be with you guys. So that'll be just fine. Okay, I think I'm done babbling at you. So thank you for watching this. And let's see what you're eating for breakfast tomorrow morning. Bye, kids.